afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, June 25th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. You cannot be happy with a serious mind, a festive mind. You can be happy. Take this whole life as a myth, as a story. It is one, but once you take it this way, you will not be unhappy. Osho. You've heard this statement being made. We've made it to people. Are you having fun yet? Whether you're enjoying your life today or not depends on one thing. One. It's real simple. The attitude of super gratitude. If you wish to enjoy this lifetime immensely, start by welcoming the enlightened, festive mindset. This means you are choosing to see every situation as opportunity to experience more love, inner peace, and divinity and fun. You'll be surprised how many opportunities you'll have in the next 24 hours to smile, sing, dance, laugh, relax, be silly, and truly celebrate this moment of your life. This exuberant, festive consciousness will liberate you from a world of suffering and become your golden highway to enlightenment when you take yourself, others, or this world too seriously. It's like gripping too tightly on the steering wheel of your life. Your mind becomes afraid to lose control, so it forces the body to live in this subtle state of anxiety, fear, and tension. Your mind becomes afraid to lose control, so it forces the body to live in this subtle state of anxiety, fear, and tension. The serious mindset believes that relaxation is the enemy, for it could loosen your grip and cause your life to take a serious wrong turn. The mind may even think that if you started letting go of the wheel just a little bit, the mind may even think that if you started letting go of the wheel just a little bit, you could lose your job, become poor, have to live on the street, be completely abandoned, unloved, and eventually die. This ridiculous fear-based, over-controlling mindset is the real culprit here. The serious mind is what is causing all of us to feel entangled in the perpetual cycle of emotional dramas, which essentially cuts us off, cuts the flow off of joy, our life force. If you want to manifest more pain and suffering, then continue to hold on tighter to the steering wheel of your life. Try a little experiment here. For 30 seconds, imagine that you are lightening your mind's grip on your life and getting on that super serious highway at seriously anxious speeds. How does your heart feel? What would you feel like doing this for 24 hours a day, 12 months in a row? You may begin to understand that if you want your world to become a more enlightened playground, filled with joy, laughter, and immense freedom, then simply loosen those white knuckles from the wheel. Let yourself get off the competitive, speeding highway and relax every rest stop you pass by. Every rest stop that you pass by. The lazy land of letting go is nearby, and you'll soon experience how fun it is to sit back, trust the journey, and relax about everything in your life. Finding the exits that lead to the enlightened festive mindset is simply a choice you get to make in each moment. You just choose to let go of all seriousness. And yes, there is a serious grumpster gremlin inside you who doesn't want to believe that you are free or have a choice. It wants you to think that you are stuck in some miserable patterns that you cannot change. You see, seriousness is a gremlin that thrives on fear. It is always afraid of trusting life and thinks that through being hard, stubborn, and controlling with life, it will get what it wants. It feels that it gains power by pushing away the soft, sweet, loving, receptive energy that brings new opportunities to love others. The gremlin believes that staying strong and focused, you will remain successful, safe, and in control. Yet, how do you actually feel when you are around someone else who is super serious about their life? Do you feel nurtured, connected, and loved? Or do you really want to be around them at all? You can see that this over-controlling attitude is out of balance, causing all sorts of suffering to occur. The secret is understanding the elements of this life, how the soft ocean water will always turn the hardest rock into sand. It may take many years for some people to realize this. Yet once they discover the real power in the playful, soft approach to life, they'll never go back. Perhaps the best part is that it's very enjoyable to liberate yourself from the serious gremlin energy. It feels like you're getting rid of a 250-pound backpack and grew a 25-foot pair of eagle wings. You literally feel like you can fly to the highest peaks in the sky. This great lightness and freedom is all yours now, and it starts by deciding to have fun doing whatever you do today. Think of one fun thing that you'd like to do. What do you need to say no to so that you can say yes to taking on this fun activity? Life, we all know, is short, so don't let this one slip on by again. Start having fun with your life and everything you do. In time, you'll discover the most liberating, enlightened consciousness finding its roots in you. It's surprising what can happen in your life when you start to consciously choose the festive mindset over living in serious gremlinville. When you make fun of your number one response in life, the enlightened festive mindset will be following you everywhere. Imagine what your heart will feel like after you have been smiling and laughing for the next 24 hours. Sure, you may get a bellyache from laughing, yet it will be very hard for anyone to bring you down. By laughing, you are releasing any old serious vibes from your body, which makes it super easy to liberate yourself from the time-bound illusionary prison of the mind. Give your life over to joy and laughter, and you'll begin living in a timeless state of mind where there truly is no pressure on your being at all. You can begin laughing at any experience, situation, or encounter in your life today. It's all a matter of freeing your mind from the limited time-bound perspective it had, and understanding that we are all eternal beings with limitless powers playing in an infinite field of highly conscious energy called the universe. As you practice prioritizing lightness over seriousness, timelessness over time, and softness over hardness, you'll see that no matter how seemingly dramatic your life situation is, you are choosing a higher path. This lighter, more playful consciousness will allow you to rise above the dense clouds of the political scheming minds in this world and see light years beyond them all. Nobody on this planet is requiring you to remain trapped in the serious world of limitation, stuckness, and form. You can be sincere in your heart without being serious. You can just acknowledge that seriousness may be very real and true for other people. Have compassion for them. Yet you don't have to buy into their belief. You can choose, it's always choice, to remain detached, alive, and free. It's always your choice whether you live in a serious world or a non-serious world. Once you realize that you are a spiritual being who will never die, you start to see matter and things differently. You'll see that the physical world is not really the real world. It is simply the material conduit that allows us to learn, grow, and evolve as spiritual beings. The world lets you have experiences so that you can realize the truth of who you really are. The truth that you are not this body, mind, thoughts, perceptions, or any of these experiences. Who you are is beyond all time, space, and form. You're the eternal spiritual essence, residing in pure consciousness, who is completely unscathed by the apparent harshness of this world. The more often you can reflect on the truth of who you are, the more fun life naturally becomes. The truth that you are not this body, mind, thoughts, perceptions, or any of these experiences. Who you are is beyond all time, space, and form. You're the eternal spiritual essence, residing in pure consciousness, who is completely unscathed by the apparent harshness of this world. And the more often you can reflect on the truth of who you are, the more fun life naturally becomes. You can give yourself full permission to play, achieve nothing, and just make every moment enjoyable. When you're in a state of lightness and love, the way you see reality will never, ever be the same. Your every breath becomes a gateway to the divine. With each inhale, you can take in the great non-serious freedom. And when you exhale, you can relax even deeper into a peaceful state of bliss. This simple, open-minded, enlightened breathing technique will expand your heart, soul, to an entirely new dimension of consciousness. It will bring out that ultimate lover of life inside you and turn you into a true funaholic. When you wake up and experience the truth that you are an infinite being who cannot die, you'll realize that this life is one wild, exotic game where you create all the rules in it. And yes, it's a metaphysical game, which means beyond physical. On a spiritual playground where you can explore your soul, enjoy your five senses, and evolve in love. You have already been chosen to play the role of the world's greatest stage performer. So it's time to start enjoying the play. It's really not important what the name of this play is, what scene you're in, which stage set you're on, what your budget is, or what roles the other actors should be playing. It doesn't even matter what needs to happen for you to win this game or who is laughing last on stage in the end. The most important thing is that you are learning how to see beyond the stage taking this game less seriously, opening your heart to trusting that everything is perfect as it is right now. I invite you to practice playing the role of the fool on stage so you can step into the enlightened, festive mindset. Release the opinions your mind believes others have about you and really enjoy yourself. Help others laugh about their serious gremlins as well as your own. Practice witnessing each experience you have a puzzle piece that fits perfectly into the infinite game of life. Start with those small perceived nuances like traffic jams, junk mail, missed appointments as opportunities to let go and realize your infiniteness. Very soon, you'll be able to see how anything you encounter in this life can be enjoyed and celebrated. If you are super challenged with a certain person or situation in your life, this is your week to transcend this block. It's actually quite easy to disarm any apparent negative person or experience. Simply look at them in the face with a big smile and overflowing love in the heart and think to yourself, what does my soul need to learn from you? Sit with the question for as long as it takes until you're feeling an expansive light energy inside your heart. Once you get the lesson, your challenge becomes an opportunity for more love. If you cannot find the answer to your situation, imagine how an enlightened, light-hearted being would approach that experience. Ask yourself, what would Buddha or Mother Mary do? Wait for the answer to come. If you hear nothing, then the answer may simply be bathe in the sacred silence of pure nothingness and enjoy. So it's up for you to try this enlightening assignment for the next 7 days. Adopt the most fun-loving, light-hearted attitude you've ever had in your life. See if you can keep a slight, constant smile on your face no matter what is happening around you. If your forehead starts to make a serious crease in it, causing your eyebrows to lower and wrinkle, relax your forehead, open your eyes, release the tension. You'll look decades younger by practicing this relaxed face, wrinkle-free technique this week. It's so fun to say goodbye to seriousness. And any old serious expressions your voice, body, and face were used to having, especially with certain people. As you reconfigure your face to take on a lighter posture, remember this experience is not about creating a happier image, being fake, always being happy, or having a stuck plastic grin permanently on. This is all about creating more awareness inside you so that you can transcend the serious gremlin. We simply cannot be serious when we are smiling. It's impossible. So just get in the habit of carrying around a smile instead of a should and liberate your life. Just a little smile, baby grin, or a tiny glimmer of contentment inside is all it takes. Try it for the next 7 days. You see how amazingly light and free you feel about everything. Sometime this week, take about 30 to 60 minutes to sit down and write out everything that you take seriously in this life. Write down all of your greatest fears, worries, and serious concerns that you have inside. Write out whatever thoughts your mind clings to that won't allow you to sleep at night. Include everything and anything you can possibly think of. Let this be the deepest, most extensive, serious, fearful worry list you can fathom. The secret to this amazing exercise is this. Release the seriousness from your body through your writing. Feel the seriousness behind the thought. Let it flow from your emotions into the pen, through the ink, and onto the paper. If after about 60 minutes you still have a few lingering heavy thoughts in the background, keep writing. Don't stop until you are completely emptied out. Then read the list out loud. And again, as you're reading, feel yourself release the feeling and belief from your body. Liberate yourself from these emotions and tell yourself you are free from this energy forever. After you have read through it and feel free from each item, then burn this piece of paper in a very grateful, ceremonious way. The number one rule of the game of life can be, if it's not going to be fun on some level, then don't do it. If it's not going to be fun on some level, then don't do it. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies that we are in. It's always the first step. Relax the bodies that we're in. Because we're not the body, we're not the personality, we're not the character, we're not the name. We're not the status in this life. We're the God within the body. And our bodies, they're like these electromagnetic sponges. They attract everything, they absorb everything, they store all kinds of stuff. And a lot of us, I'd say the majority of us, have no clue that we do that. You store it in different organs, in different parts of the body, and year after year after year after year after year. For some, there's a breakage biologically. Something malfunctions. So the stress that we absorb, like sponges, and you don't know. A lot of times we don't know we're in stress. We have no clue. But we absorb it. Worry, fear, anxiety, anger, hatred, pain. We absorb it. So by going into your breath, easy and slowly in through the nose and easy and slowly out through the mouth, you move yourself into the now, which literally stops the ego mind and the subconscious mind. It stops it. And what that means is that you don't engage it. You leave it alone. And this is when the body is able to kind of let go, dump this stuff out for good. For some, it might take a bit. You know. Others, fluidly. But keeping the body relaxed through the breath is absolutely paramount. It connects to everything. Now, in order for us to master the ego mind, subconscious mind, even though they're illusions, is to watch them without judgment. If you watch them, watch how they operate. You know, then you start to identify these thoughts that are ego thoughts, that are ego motivation. If that's an ego thought, I'm not interested in entertaining that. Or this is an ego response that I'm starting to have. I don't care to have that. See, and as we're in the now, they don't exist. And they know it. And that's why there's so much pain and suffering on this planet. Because we are literally coerced and tricked into being either in yesterday or tomorrow. Not now. Yesterday or tomorrow. Tomorrow or yesterday. Yesterday, tomorrow. And that's what causes us to become stressful, suffering, taking life way too seriously. So we have mind chatter, all of us, noise 24/7. We put out, and that's gone in the now. And we literally generate over 60,000 thoughts every day. It doesn't mean we know every one of them. That's why Buddha always has said, master your thoughts. Then we have tens of millions and billions of thoughts that fly by like clouds in the sky, but they're really not thoughts. They're programs. And that's where we get tricked into grabbing onto them. And 99.999% of them are ours. You can see all this stuff whirling around. And this is when we practice by being in the now and focus on our breath, to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves, and be in the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude, love, and peace. So this way, when we do float off, because we all float off, we're at ease, and we say, this is not a big deal. Kind of funny to float off with a thought that isn't even mine. So I'll focus on my breath, and I'll be in the now. And every time I focus on my breath, I will be in the now. That's a powerful knowing and a resource. And it's practice. You either choose to practice it or not. But I can guarantee you that you practice it all the time, you will not take this life so seriously. You will smile and laugh more. And your pain and suffering will become a distant memory. It's that. Now, subconscious mind, it's good to know about it. It records everything. As soon as you enter that baby body, it records everything. Everything around you, everything you experience. And it never ends, see? And it stores all of it. It stores it in each of our great halls. And on top of it, on occasion, it'll play it back. This is why you're somewhere, you're doing something, right? And you say to yourself, I've done this before. And the thing is that you have. It's this lifetime or maybe some other lifetime. But you have done it before. Might have been different surroundings or something, but you've done it before. And this is the playback of the subconscious mind. It's not negative. It's just being aware of it. How we can get carried away and float off and go in different areas in different directions, which keeps us out of the now. Now, picture all of us standing in front of three paths, right? And we look at the paths and we see that the trees have formed golden canopies over the paths. There's the shimmering leaves and the golden branches and the bark. And we notice that the path itself is a brilliant emerald green flaming grass, fierce beetle flaming grass. And we're all in the center, the now. And we look to the left and we see yesterday. And we look to the right and we see tomorrow. And as we view these paths out of curiosity, we notice that the path on the left is really worn, yesterday, the past. And the path on the right, tomorrow, the future, is really worn too. But the one we're standing in front of, the center path, the now, looks almost brand new. And we know why. We know why that the ego mind does not exist in the now. So it will do everything it can to keep us out of the now. And for many, it does a good job. Majority of people on this planet live either in the past or the present, not the present, but the past and the future. But they're very rarely in the now. Isn't that wild? They live in the past or they live in the future, but they very rarely are they in the now. And you can connect the dots, snap the puzzle pieces into place, and you start to realize that that's why there's so much pain and suffering on this planet. Most are living in the past or the future. And the ego mind is the master. So we all go into the past. We reminisce. We have nostalgia. We have memories. Things that, you might collect things and have things. The reason you do is because it brings memories back, right? Some people hold on to cars and pictures, different things. I enjoy it. Had so much fun in this car. It was a lot of fun, a lot of good energy. Or this pendant, or this shirt. It could be anything. Or this painting in the picture. Or this movie. And it's fun. We all have a great haul. And, of course, understand the function of subconscious mind. So the great haul is a tremendous resource for us. It's a library. It's a great resource place for us, each of us. And so we reminisce and we go over different things that we've experienced. You say, boy, that was really fun. I would love to do that again. And then there's things that we compare. We say, well, I did this a while ago, and the way I did it didn't work. So I'm going to try a different way, a different approach to see if that works. So we'll go into our great hall at times. We'll open the door, turn on a light, and whenever you walk into a room, whether you know it or not, you will flash real quick. You'll glance at the walls and the ceiling. And we do the same thing when we enter our great hall. The difference is that we don't see any walls or ceilings because it's so vast. It's so massive. But nonetheless, we will go to the shelves and the drawers, and we'll pick out some movies, some pictures, and some books. And we'll go sit in the easy chair, and we see this like white rectangle just floating in the air. And so we'll watch the movies, and we'll read a little bit of the books and look at some of the pictures. Then we'll reminisce. We'll have a good time. But we don't stay there. We will take everything, put everything back in its proper place, turn off the light, shut the door, and move forward in the light. And on occasion, we revisit. Some of us, though, and it's unconscious, they will stay there so long that they end up taking that past into a future that doesn't exist. They create that future from that past, and they relive that past and that future. That's why a lot of people will find themselves saying, no matter what we do, we always end up here. And we all go into the future because we get curious, anxious, hurried, sometimes desperate, where the ego mind's pushing us, poking us, pulling us. You got to find this stuff out. You got to find something out. You got to know about this stuff. Get in there. Go on. Get into the future. Find it out. So there's a lot of external authorities that we can resource, that will, all different forms of it. And we've got card readers. We have tea leaf readers, believe it or not, palm readers, pendulum readers, crystal readers, astrologers, psychics, clairvoyants. Goes on. And so we could be sitting in front of a card reader saying, what would you like to know? And a lot of people would like to know, when am I going to have enough money to enjoy my life? Or, am I ever going to be able to get a new home or a new vehicle or whatever it may be? And so they'll shuffle the cards and they'll start putting the cards down. And they flip them up and they start giving you a story. about you and what's going to happen for you, right? And so you take it in. Could be anything. Could be you're going to come into a major sum of money out of the clear blue. And it'll take care of everything. And so we get different responses because we all have a kind of a different, little bit of a twist here and there with each of us in our perspectives. And so we'll look at it and say, one will say, they don't believe in that stuff or whatever. I was just curious to see what it would be like. And then there's the other one that really will fixate on it. If they're given a date, they'll write it in the calendar. They'll start counting the days. Because the reader might say, well, and within 3 weeks, within a week, whatever. Okay. And they'll fixate on it, and they'll start forming attachments to the outcome, right? In other words, they'll say, well, when I have this money, I'm going to be able to do this, 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 and this, and they'll have these those are attachments, okay? And then they'll develop expectations. I expect this to happen because I was told it was going to happen. Now, the third person that gets a card reading, they believe it, right? They have total trust in themselves and in the universe. So there's no question, no doubt whatsoever. So this person tells them, and they embrace it, and they know the universe is already manifesting it, and they just leave it alone. They let it go. They'll be the ones that will actually experience it. The fixator will push it away. And of course, the one that really doesn't give a darn in either way may on occasion attract it, manifest it. But it's the third one. And the phenomenal thing is that we all have this omnipotent power. All of us do. It's not like one or two. It's everyone. The complication comes in is how we are directed, right? How we are taught, how we are formed in our personality and character while in this body, and how we look at things, say, how we perceive things. And many people will negate the manifesting. They'll manifest it because we're doing it every second. But the things that they really, truly want, they'll negate because they get so into it and so convoluted. It gets so confusing and then disappointing because then they get upset because it doesn't happen. It's the ones that, if you ever notice, it's those of us who don't expect receive. You ever notice that? How many people have you said, maybe yourself, where you said, I never expected this in a million years. And it's happening to me, and I'm deeply grateful. You ever heard people say that? Because whether they're consciously aware of it or not, their trust in themselves and the universe is magnificent. It's phenomenal. There's not even one inkling of doubt. It's all through the heart mind. So we have parts of ourselves, the gods that we are in these bodies. And see, the toughest thing for many is the illusion of separation, which is played heavily on this population, on this civilization and planet. But for instance, you take the Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. Now, the pure consciousness, the gods that entered those bodies, are no different than the gods that have entered these bodies that we're in. And there's no separation there. But the body gives everybody the impression that there's separation. Why is that? Right? Each of us are experiencing from the one, from the pure consciousness, the collective, different things all the time. Not just on this planet, but everywhere. So we're experiencing different things, different directions. And then people say, well, how can that be? We're all one. That's why the bodies are there, so it gives us the illusion that we're not, that we're separate. See? But then we know that we're the God in the body and not the body. And we are inhabiting the physical form to experience, which then turns into learning and progressing and knowledge and etc. That's why all of us are Buddhists. Buddha's God, the God that was in Buddha's body, Siddhartha, is that any different than the gods that we are? No. Eventually, the civilization will be, once we know emphatically that we are the God within the body, then we will journey deeper within and start discovering the power that we truly are. You can be anything, do anything, experience anything you desire. Be anywhere in a blink of the eye. More than one place. Anywhere in the galaxy, the universe, and beyond. That's why the journey within is so fascinating and intriguing. It's like the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. It's the same thing. The gods in their bodies are part of the gods in our bodies. Off-worlders, celestials, galactics, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, feline Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. The gods in those physical forms are the same as the gods in these physical forms. And not only that, we're all part of each other. It's like the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, whale, Pegasus, the unicorn, centaur, minotaur. Gods in those bodies experiencing those physical forms are no different than the gods in our bodies experiencing this physical form. Even our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes we've inhabited, that's the God ascending, leaving the body. Okay? Some of us call it dying. It's ascending, you leave the body. It's, I'm leaving the body. Okay? Or I'm going to stay for 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, how many years you want. But those are the pure consciousness. That's the gods, part of us, the gods that we are. All experiencing different things, different ways, shapes and forms. All the different light spectrum beings, they're kind of a physical form. God is inhabiting and experiencing those forms. The archangels, their gods inhabit a body. Right? No different than ours. But those gods are part of the gods that we are in these bodies. You see, it's because there's so many that have this amnesia that we spend most of our times and most of our lifetimes trying to rediscover who and what we are. That's what happens. And along the way, we experience. People say, well, how many lifetimes did Buddha have, did Siddhartha have, before he was able to discover who and what he was? Many. Very rarely do you get it right the first time out of the chute. But knowing is halfway there. Just knowing, just being able to state it to yourself through the heart-mind is halfway there. So we focus on this planet, right? Earth Gaia, Arya. It's got many names. Sophia, there's so many names been given. And we notice, as the gods that we are, in these physical forms, that there's a lot of muck. There's a lot of pure evil, too many souls that have been invaded with too much darkness. And we just decided that that's enough. We don't care to have that anymore. And we're transcending the planet into a God-planet paradise through deep eternal love, which is the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies as we know. And it's also the most powerful. And our numbers are, endless, right? You can look at Googleplexes. One Googleplex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. Trillions of Googleplexes from trillions of universes. It's endless. So we just say hundreds of millions of us on and off world. Now we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one. We're all God. And we're all love. And our God force, love, light energies and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It continues to intensify, grow, and expand. Now we immediately form a massive white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet. Earth, Gaia, Arya. In this now. This emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies, which is pure, deep, eternal love. It floods, saturates, and permeates the planet, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. It isn't temporary. It's endless, infinity and beyond, saturating everything. There's no escape, on, in, above, and below. So we begin to ascend, and we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. We always describe things. We take things, and what is it like? What does it look like? And so with the experiences we've had on this planet, we take like a grand finale fireworks display and a grand finale laser light show display and the ballroom globe with the faceted mirrors that you shine light on it, floods the room. So we take these three things that we're familiar with, intensify them a trillion times, and combine them all into one massive crescendo. And in one spectacular burst of light, sparkles, that's just are there and everywhere. That's as close as near as we'll get to describing the ocean of glitter. Now, when we look at the reflective points, which are everywhere, of course, we discover these little tiny microscopic mirrors. They appear to be mirrors, perfectly etched, and we enter them. And then we find out that all of us, no matter what form that we're inhabiting, experiencing, are teaching each other, learning from each other, all the time, nonstop, infinity and beyond. So it doesn't mean, when we get tied up in the material physical world and we get distracted, which often happens through the ego mind, we miss it. We really aren't paying attention because it's constant hurry, rush, fear, worry, stress, anxiety. Hurry and rush, get this done, get that done, got to get this, got to get that. Busy, busy, busy. But when you decide to slow down to maybe half pace, you say, I'm not going to be in the rat race anymore. Then you start taking things in. You start seeing things. And you ask yourself, what is that teaching me? What is the God in that body teaching me? because we're always learning. And you can also be anything you want to be. It doesn't matter. You're in the physical body, right? You remember when you were a kid, you say, "I want to be that." What is that? What's it like to be that? I want to be that. So you can focus on your breath, right? Be in the now. Focus on whatever it is. And then just a split second, you'll know exactly what it's like to be that, whatever it may be that you're focused on. I mean, everything, let's put it this way. God is the life. Pure energy, pure consciousness, right? So it floods and enters all forms of life, gives it life. So without that, what would there be? Nothing. There would be no life anywhere. God, force, love, light, energy. So in a way, everything we enter, we give it life. And when we leave it, it ceases. No longer needed. Ceases. You really start to realize that when you decide to go within and stay within, then you start saying, how can anybody be bored with this life? How can anybody be critical or so serious about this life? Yeah, we're immediately met by columns of light that we create, the gods that we are, and remind us of things. So Archangel Raphael is carrying a emerald green flaming healing light, which reminds us, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the power of healing these bodies. Then we have Archangel Michael. He's carrying a violet blue purple flaming light. And this reminds us, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we have a white fire light. This reminds us all that these bodies, right, and the gods that we are protected 24/7 with this white fire armor. It emanates from the gods that we are, pure, deep, eternal love. Highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. So we don't have demon possessions. We don't have attachments. We don't have lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies raising havoc with us. They can't sustain their form around such a high vibrational frequency. They either vaporize or they leave. Okay? So as long as we keep that vibrational frequency high, we are protected eternally, infinity and beyond. Yet, only you have the power. That if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, anger, fear, greed, revenge, dishonesty, manipulation, worry, stress, fear, anxiety, envy, you'll create a breach in your white fire armor, allowing all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies come flooding in. Then there's possibilities of demon possession, attachments, and many other things. Now, if you do decide to do this, we have a fail-safe, the gods that we are, that we've created. We created this double column of light to start with. And the first part of this column is the purple transmuting flame. This reminds us that we can bring in this flame, this purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralized substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. Then we have the second part of the column, the violet ray. We created this part of the column, the violet ray, to remind us that we can bring in the violet ray right after the purple transmuting flame. Planets purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Then we're met with a golden light, pink light. This is a column of light that the gods we are within these bodies created to remind us all that we are the sun, sunlight, rain, rainbow, sun sets and sun rises, oceans, rivers, lakes, streams, trees, forests, soils, animals, clouds in the sky. We're everything. Everything's us. So we've all been trained through eons to believe we're separate. So when we look at a sunset or rainbow, and whatever the view may be that you look at and say, this is absolutely spectacular, it's beautiful, I got to get a picture of it, right? Well, one thing's true about that. Beautiful, spectacular, phenomenal, magnificent is you, the God in that body. So when we choose to go within and we view it from the heart-mind, we say, that's the God that I am. Or whatever it is, that's the God that I am. And you'll feel a shift in the heart-mind. And it'll be a really wonderful shift. Now, we continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us who are carrying physical form decide to step outside the physical form, hover effortlessly above it. We do this because we can, and it's absolutely a riot. It's so fun. Now, we come in contact with a massive crystalline light tower. We, the gods in these bodies, created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we see this massive oblong sphere. Center of the sphere, we see this humongous golden white ball of light. And it seems to be surrounded by multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. This, in turn, creates this super bright, sparkling white, super bright white cloud, misty cloud. It, in turn, is absorbed through our heart-mind, which feels like a warm embrace that never ends. We then discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love. Then comes gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and humongous abundance. And all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are in these bodies. Now, at the top of this column, we designed it, the gods that we are in these bodies, so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, permeating, saturating, and flooding this planet, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. There's no escape from it. On, in, above, and below. What is golden ocean? Pure, deep, eternal love. We all are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is a drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. We, the gods that we are in this body, created this sphere over 4 years ago. Now, I hold we're moving towards 1,900 meditations in perpetual motion over that 4-year time period. Every day, 7 days a week. It is, the power is immeasurable. And all of these intents, hundreds of millions of us on and off world, consciously aware, which means that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And this planet is being permeated, saturated, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. With these meditations, they continue to grow, expand, intensify. That's why the sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. continues to grow, intensify, and expand. So there's no escape. There's just zero escape. And you can plug into this sphere anytime you choose, through the heart-mind, in the now, focused on your breath, and listening and watching. You can just float through the heart-mind, and you see on the planet that all of this, it is blacker than any black of blacks that you've ever experienced or seen. And it's a goop. And the old rogue AI goop, and the pure evil, and the souls that have been invaded with too much darkness. And it's evaporating. You can see it. It looks like it's being vacuumed off the planet everywhere you look. And we, the gods, in these bodies, created this kind of an atmosphere that you see through it, but you can see shimmering golden white pink lights throughout it, right? And this dark matter is evaporating as it goes through this atmosphere. You can see it, watch it, as it just completely becomes less and less and less. Now, the gods that we are in these bodies, we created this sky. And this sky is a golden white pink light. Can't look at it right on because it's so brilliantly bright. And so, if any of this matter makes it to the sky, in one final flash, it is completely vaporized permanently. This is what's going on. Day in, day out, 24/7, infinity and beyond. Will it end? No. This is infinite. Remember, we are transforming this planet into a God planet paradise. That's what we, the gods, are doing, that are consciously aware. Your mind will most likely get crazier the more you meditate. This is an illusion. You are simply becoming more aware of the chaos that is already present in it. If you cannot stand the amount of mind chatter, take a few minutes before you sit to relax your body and start by imagining a warm, relaxing light going into your toes and then moving all the way up your body. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath, slow and easy breath in through the nose, and an easy, slow breath out the mouth. Be completely still. Really relax today. Breathe in the affirmation. I am safe. I am loved. All is well in my world. I am safe. I am loved. All is well in my world. I am safe. I am loved. All is well in my world. Let these words sink deep into your body. Stay alert yet in the flow. Allow any calming energy to grow and spread throughout your body. The easiness of being absorbs each thought that arises in the mind. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning. We'll return here Sunday, June 26, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation